4, 3.
Hi everyone, welcome to Columbus State Television. I'm Michael Baltimore, and it is my pleasure today to be here and to bring to you the National Teacher of the Year for 2013, Jeff Charbonneau. Jeff, welcome to our show today.
Well,
we can do that.
Yeah,
Thank
absolutely.
you.
Thank you so much for having me. I appreciate it.
Well, it's our pleasure, and you know, the College of Education Health Professions each year has the honor to have the National Teacher of the Year come by, talk to the Muskogee County teachers, our teachers here at Columbus State University, and those student teachers as well. So I know you've got a full schedule, but we really appreciate you being here with us today. All right, so National Teacher of the Year, that's a big honor. There are a lot of teachers out there. How did it happen for you? How did this process start, and where did it go?
You know, you mentioned there's a lot of teachers out there. There's 3.2 million teachers in the United States, public education teachers, that is. And, you know, unfortunately, the best parallel that I have for it is probably the Miss America pageant.
Okay, all right.
You start out as Teacher of the Year for your district, then for typically a region in your state, and then they bring all of the state teachers of the year as well as the territorial teachers of the year together. Right. There's 54 U.S. state and territorial teachers of the year.
Okay.
Goes into the national competition, and then one is finally selected. And you know, every step along the way, I was convinced that it was somebody else that was going to be moving on, but you know, they picked me anyway.
All right. Well, that was good. Well, good for you too. I mean, but you had to. That first step, just probably winning at a local level, was a good honor. That's a nice thing to have on the resume there.
You know, it's a tremendous honor, and even more important than the resume is the fact that, you know, typically at the district or regional level, you're nominated by your peers. You know, and so it's your fellow co-workers, it's students in your community, it's your administration who are recognizing you for the job that you're doing. And you know, the thing that I try to tell people is, you know, I'm not the good teacher in my district. I'm one of many very good teachers. You know, and my role as Teacher of the Year is to represent all of them. You know, because there's a lot of great teachers out there.
There really are, and this is a very honorable discipline too, to teach others, to train the children as they come up and help those children and adolescents and even young adults as we move through in college, so forth, and provide that information, but doing it in a way that uses the best practices, uses the way, do it in a way that really connects with that student and encourages them and draws out that passion, as we were talking about before the show. And there, tell us a little bit about your background. I know we have lots of questions today, but let's jump back a little bit. Where did you grow up, and what was your family like, and what was your school like as we go?
You know, I went to the Zola School District, the same district that I now teach in.
Okay.
Was a student there, and you know, I wasn't a bad student, but I wasn't the best student that I possibly could be. And I had many teachers there within the district that really showed me what it was like to push myself. And it was really because of their efforts that I improved as a student. So there was many teachers there that really got the best out of me. You mentioned the connectedness, you know, with the students, and they made the connections with me. They spent the time to develop that relationship. Then I was the first in my family to go to and graduate from college. Okay. Actually, I had already fallen in love at that point with my high school sweetheart.
Okay, there you go.
We both went to college and got married after college.
All right.
We actually got married on a Saturday, started student teaching on Monday. Not something I would recommend, but, but it worked out well. Oh, and now we're back in the very same community that we both went to school in. So I teach in the same school that I graduated high school from. You know, there's only 19 teachers there, 12 of them are the same.
Okay.
So that's a little interesting.
Oh, that has to be, because they knew you.
Absolutely. Right, wrong, and indifferent.
Okay, that's what I was thinking. You might get some feedback about how to do things and what it was like when you were coming up.
Exactly.
But we've all had that one teacher, or probably more, that has made a difference in our lives. And I think I've heard so many people talk in that way. Was there a teacher, one of those that, or was there a moment in there where it was just like, this person really helped me turn things around a little bit?
Yeah, you know, you're right in that there were many. But if I'm really going to narrow it down, if I need to pick just one, it's my 7th and 8th grade language arts teacher. Her name was Louise Adams, but we called her Miss A. Okay. And I got to tell you, to be totally honest with you, in 7th grade, I did not like that woman. I really did not, because she called my father every Friday to tell him what I didn't do. You know, in my middle school brain, she got me in trouble every week. And she did this and she did that. and she dared to care is really what it came down
Right.
to.
That's what we don't know it in
Exactly.
7th grade at that
Exactly.
age. We just don't realize it.
By the time I'm looking back now, I realize that she changed my life. She dared to care about me. She put in the time, she put in the effort, and she literally changed my life. And I'm so glad that I've been able to go back and thank her.
Right.
You know, I've been able to go back and every time I see her, I give her the biggest hug I possibly can. You know, and I really hope that other people that are out there listening that they'll take the time to go back and thank that one teacher that made that difference. Because I'll tell you what, as a teacher now, National Teacher of the Year award, it's a huge honor.
Right.
But the ones that I actually hold even more dear to my heart are the few emails, the notes, the wedding invitations years later, the birth announcements years later from my former students. Those are the awards that really matter. So if you're out there watching right now, if you have not yet thanked one of your former teachers, take the time and do it.
Get it done. All right, that is great advice. I'm gonna look at that myself because those students may not realize as it's coming along the influence and just what these teachers have sacrificed and the kind of encouragement they give to students that kind of help them move in the right way.
Absolutely.
I think it's we don't pay enough attention to teachers and celebrate that as much. All right, so that's a great story though. I mean, you came from that district, you moved around, you got married to this childhood sweetheart. That's a great story. And then you're back in the school with the teachers. Okay, that's a full circle.
Absolutely full circle. You know, my son is in 1st grade now in that very same school district.
Okay.
And you know, it's such an honor to be able to send my own children to that same school because there's so many great teachers in that area.
All right, so you got married, started your student teaching. All right, so what was that student teaching experience like when you got in there? Because I would imagine that that's a pretty scary time for someone to have a classroom. Right now I'm in charge of something and I need to teach these students. And what was it like?
You know, I will say that all teachers go through a moment where the door finally closes, the bell rings, and all of a sudden all the kids look at you.
Right.
And you realize for the first moment, oh, that's right, I'm in charge now. You know, I'm supposed to be doing this. You know, so there's certainly those moments. But I was really well prepared because of student teaching. I was placed with 2 different teachers, one in the morning, one in the afternoon.
Okay.
They had 2 completely different personalities.
Excellent.
One was very traditional, I am teacher, you are student. And the other one was literally hugging the kids as they came through the door in the high school setting.
Right.
So
okay.
you have 2 very different dynamics. But what that showed me was that they were both very, very good at what they did.
Yes.
You know, they were both very effective. They both made great relationships with their kids.
Different styles,
different styles,
but
still we're connecting.
Wow.
And that tells you as a teacher, there is no one way to teach. You know, that there just isn't. There are some kids that love my teaching style and some that, well, don't.
Right,
you know?
right.
And that's okay because it's the style that I use. What my job is as a teacher is to make sure that I make a connection with kids. You know, and I have to be true to myself in that teaching style.
Right.
You know, so hopefully those beginning teachers that are out there realize, you know, it's not about going and mimicking another teacher. It's about developing your own style, and being true to it.
Right. Now, so your subject matter, now you were in college. What was college like for you leading up to that? I'm jumping back
Absolutely,
but a little bit.
Sure.
What was that part of your training like?
You know, my college experience was phenomenal and really shaped me as an educator because when I went to Central Washington University, I was actually originally majoring in pre-med. Thought I was going to be a medical doctor.
Okay.
Very selfishly, I signed up with the community hospital to do some community service with them. I say selfishly because to get into med school, you need to have community service. You need a well-rounded application. And my job was to work in the emergency room, and basically, if it came out of a human body, I was supposed to clean it up.
Okay, all right, there you go.
So got to have my experience around medicine. At the same time, the dean of the university also came to me and said, we need somebody to tutor these students in biology for the alternative high school that's in town. And I said, okay. Again, very selfishly, I need more community service hours. So I started teaching these 5 boys in biology. What the problem with that, though, is that over the course of the next 6 months, I started thinking more about my tutoring session with biology than I was thinking about the hospital.
Okay, all
and
right.
I started lowering my volunteer hours at the hospital and increasing my tutoring hours. Because there's something that happens. When you see a student connect, when you see a student understand something for the first time, and a whole new world opens up to them. We could be talking about you know, protons, electrons, and neutrons inside of an atom, and suddenly they look around the world and they see the world atomized. You know, they see it in that way. As a teacher, what an experience it is to be there at that moment of discovery. you want more of that. Teaching becomes addictive.
Right. Okay.
Next thing I know, I switched majors, and I've never looked back.
All right, there you go. Yeah. So you started out on one, but once you actually got into the role of the instructor and the teacher, that began to develop your passion, and you saw it. And all right, that's a great story as well. All right, so Teacher of the Year, that's a pretty amazing journey because it is of the year, which means that you have a year that you have to travel and do lots of things for this award. Tell us a little bit about that. Now we're going to come back and talk about a number of other things, but this award starts when and how does it go? What do you have to do as Teacher of the Year?
You know, so I was named in April of 2013 by the president at the Oval Office.
Yeah, I think we have some pictures that we want to show as we're talking
absolutely.
here.
You know, and what an amazing experience. I got to take my wife, my two small children, my parents, and my brother into the Oval Office to meet the president.
Okay.
You know, so it was a great experience, great ceremony out in the Rose Garden, and then finished out the school year. You know, sort of. There was a lot of interviews.
Right. I would imagine there's a lot going on.
And then starting June 1st, the travel began. I've gone to a lot of education conferences, a lot of universities, a lot of schools around the area to really see what's happening in education and to learn from others.
Okay. Yep. Let's stop there.
I kind of figured.
And thank you for going along with us on that. We, James, when you come back, I think we need to turn down this. I don't know if it's 10 or 11. But one of those are pretty high and probably pulling a lot of juice there. Yeah, 10 and 11 over, they're completely out right now. You've got to do your flip the breaker scenario again. But I think that was a good point. You finished, and the picture was up, so we can cut right back to the picture. Wherever you were.
The C-SPAN picture?
Let me see it. Was that it?
Well, I switched it out when I don't know if...
It's okay. I mean, we can start with that too. It doesn't matter. Picture goes to picture. So we say, I said, sorry about this. This is a kind of a...
I'm a high school teacher. It happens.
Man. So what are you teaching? Are you in chemistry or do you do engineering? Or
I do chemistry, physics, and engineering, all three of them. But then I'm also the assistant drama director, yearbook advisor, science club advisor, and a lot of other things.
Well, I saw one on here. You're the 9th grade advisor.
I'm ninth grade class advisor as well.
What does that mean? So, I don't know if I've heard of you.
Yeah, so you have a class advisor, so you're in charge of the freshman class president, freshman class vice president, those things. The next year, this year, I would have been the sophomore class advisor. This coming year, I will be the junior class advisor when I come back.
So you meet with those officers?
Meet with those officers, and being the junior class advisor, it means I'm in charge of prom next year. So you know those types of activities, those sorts of things.
All right, so. That doesn't sound like the fun job to me. But
that is the one.
James, it's this one right? It's this one pointed at me on the end. And see if you can adjust that one down just a little bit because I think it's pulling a lot of wattage.
Eventually, you guys will switch out to LEDs on those too, and then run the whole thing out of one outlet.
I think so. These, and we put in a new circuit in here for these, but we've had a couple of little issues, and I'm not sure that we're on the right circuit right now. I've got the electrician that was working at the university went back to school, so which is a good thing. But for us, it wasn't on that because I could call him and kind of go. Is that okay? That light still looks fairly bright, but I mean, it's a good picture, but I just want to make sure.
Yeah, I pulled all of them down. I didn't want to switch the shot up too much to be noticed.
Okay, that's all right. Well, yeah, that'll do. I mean, if it drops down again, hopefully we'll. We got to be. It's on edge right now. Can we get through this sentence without the lights going out? It's a chore. All right, let's start right back with the picture. And do you have a couple of other pictures to follow this one that's around the ceremony at the White House?
Okay, I can start back with this picture.
No, he was talking through that one, and you made the change after that. So if that's the one, that's where we need to be. And if there's some other ones there, the one that got Arnie Duncan, I think, in one, you got a couple others in there. Yeah, go back. Yeah, that will be the one after this one. All right, let's start there. Ready to go?